Welcome to Reddily. On today's episode, enjoy the best from Today I Learned.
Today I learned that in 1916 there was a proposed amendment to the U.S. Constitution that would put all acts of war to a national vote, and anyone voting yes would have to register as a volunteer for service in the United States Army.
The thing is, there's been over 11,000 proposed changes to the Constitution since it's been around. Only 17 of these have been passed, not including the original 10. Plus, if this did pass Congress, it would still have a long way for it to become law. Either 2/3 or 3/4 of states need to pass it as well. I don't remember the number off the top of my head. The way the Constitution is set up is so that there can be no radical changes to our country. I don't believe that if this did pass it would have met the other requirements as well.
Today I learned actor Robert Pattinson dealt with an obsessed fan who had been camping outside his apartment by taking her out on a dinner date. I just complained about everything in my life and she never came back.
The way he frames it here makes the whole thing seem pretty sad. There was one day when I was just so chronically bored I said to her, "Do you want to just go to dinner or something? No one else wants to hang out with me." Her parents had a restaurant, she took me there. I complained about everything in my life for about 2 hours, then she gave me the bill to pay and was never back outside my apartment ever again.
Today I learned that millennial dads are spending 3 times as much time with their kids than their fathers spent with them. Back in 1982, 43% of fathers admitted they had never changed a diaper. Today, that number is down to about 3%.
Millennial dads wish their fathers spent more time with them. That's why I spend time with my kids. My dad just left for work every day and came home tired every night to watch the Weather Channel. He was a great dad, but not a very attentive one.
My dad changed my diaper once and still complains about it 22 years later.
Today I learned a Japanese company has awarded its non-smoking employees 6 extra vacation days to compensate for the smokers' smoke breaks.
I was in the Navy, and I used to take smoke breaks throughout the day. One time, I found my buddy, a non-smoker, hidden away on the chaff deck, kicked back in a lawn chair, basking in the sun. He said he took an hour a day to chill outside since all of the smokers did. I wasn't mad.
Today I learned that when the Nazis burned Sigmund Freud's books he said, "What progress we are making. In the Middle Ages they would have burned me. Now they are content with burning my books."
They weren't content with just that. He was actually on the Nazis' kill-on-sight list for if they occupied the UK. Little did they know by the time the Nazis got around to writing that list he was already dead. But still.
Today I learned Romans were known to create tombs for their dogs and gave them epitaphs to remember them by. One such inscription read, "I am in tears, while carrying you to your last resting place as much as I rejoiced when bringing you home with my own hands 15 years ago."
All right, but apart from the sanitation, the medicine, education, wine, public order, irrigation, roads, the freshwater system, public health, and dog epitaphs, what have the Romans ever done for us?
You left out architecture.
Today I learned that Willie, a parrot, alerted its owner, Megan Howard, when the toddler she was babysitting began to choke. Megan was in the bathroom, the parrot began screaming, "Mama, baby," while flapping its wings as the child turned blue. Megan rushed over and performed the Heimlich, saving the girl's life.
Meanwhile, my friend's parrot just makes NES noises. Really weird when you're just minding your own business and you hear the sound of Mario descending a green pipe.
Today I learned of Syndrome K, a fake disease that Italian doctors made up to save Jews who had fled to their hospital seeking protection from the Nazis. Syndrome K patients were quarantined, and the Nazis were told that it was a deadly, disfiguring, and highly contagious illness. They saved at least 20 lives.
During World War II, my grandfather's plane was shot down in Italy. He lived in the wilderness for a while and was captured by enemies. He escaped and was held by an Italian family that saved his life. I should also mention he is Jewish. This family took a big risk to protect him. Years later, my uncle went to Italy to meet the family, and the little boy at the time was now an adult that was able to share stories of what it was like for his family. Without them, I may not exist.
Today I learned there was an early 1900s act named Sober Sue, whose draw was She Never Smiled. A theater offered $1,000 to anyone who could make her laugh, attracting big comedians. Crowds came out to watch them try and fail, giving them a free show. Later it came out that Seuss suffered from facial paralysis.
This is actually really common. Most people I tell jokes to suffer from this.
Today I learned this year the official Yu-Gi-Oh tournament hosted by Konami instituted a hygiene clause to the rulebook. This allows judges to penalize players with dirty clothing or terrible odor by giving them a loss. Super Smash Bros. Tournaments have also started implementing similar rules.
I know a guy who bathes in hot water once a week. No soap because it's bad for you? He smells so much that people have stopped inviting him to social events. He also hand washes his clothes, and they smell just as bad as he does.
I played in a poker tournament yesterday where this rule would have been great. The guy next to me smelled like he fell into a pit of dead animals and aborted fetuses, brushed himself off, and came to the tournament immediately after. It was the worst smell I have ever experienced.
Today I learned some farmers in Bangladesh have switched to raising ducks instead of chickens because during catastrophic floods, ducks float.
Ducks are just all-terrain chickens.
Today I learned that the Cuban Missile Crisis began when a CIA operative noticed soccer fields on a Cuban military base. Cubans play baseball, Russians play soccer.
The Cuban Missile Crisis began when America first placed missiles in Turkey. It was a symmetrical answer.
Today I learned planned obsolescence is illegal in France. It is a crime to intentionally shorten the lifespan of a product with the aim of making customers replace it. In early 2018, French authorities used this law to investigate reports that Apple deliberately slowed down older iPhones via software updates.
Still doesn't stop them. Most corporations are happy to eat a fine if it's less than expected profits, which it usually is. On top of that, most countries don't enforce consumer protections against planned obsolescence. They've been convinced it's bad for the economy to not force people to keep buying and buying.
Today I learned that when Nintendo had a fall in revenue from the less successful Wii U, its CEO cut his pay in half for 5 months rather than blame workers.
Everyone is saying this is such a Nintendo move. But this is a classic Japanese CEO move. Many heads of Japanese corporations slash pays from the top instead of from the bottom. Sony of Japan did the same as well.
Today I learned that a Harvard study found that hiring one highly productive toxic worker does more damage to a company's bottom line than employing several less productive but more cooperative workers.
I have a toxic coworker in my department who has been on medical leave since the beginning of December. Since they have been out, our productivity has shot up, teamwork has improved, and it has become a very chill place to work. Now, this coworker is very fast with their work and generally does a good job, but their attitude and the way they speak and treat others is annoying at best, morale destroying at worst. Everyone in the department is dreading their return from medical leave.
Today I learned apes don't ask questions. While apes can learn sign language and communicate using it, they have never attempted to learn new knowledge by asking humans or other apes. They don't seem to realize that other entities can know things they don't. It's a concept that separates mankind from apes.
Egocentrism, and developing past it, is a major developmental milestone in human children. Up until a certain point in their development, children literally have no capacity to understand that information is not universal. A child still in the egocentric phase of development, should they place a toy under their bed with their father in the room, then move it when he's no longer in the room, assumes the father is aware of where the child moved the toy, despite us as adults recognizing there is no way he would know. It's all part of theory of mind. Basically, at a certain point they figure out everyone has a separate understanding of the universe. This individuality is a huge part of our development, and this is an aspect that truly separates us.
What did you learn today? Share something you found interesting in the comments.
As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.